Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to all of you on my YouTube channel. This is your host Muhammad Daniel Asif. Effective communication is essential in both business and daily life as it fosters understanding, collaboration, and efficiency. In business, clear communication ensures that goals, tasks, and expectations are understood, reducing errors and boosting productivity. It helps build strong relationships with clients, employees, and stakeholders, promoting trust and loyalty. In daily life, communication strengthens personal relationships by expressing emotions, thoughts, and needs effectively. It aids in conflict resolution, decision making, and problem solving, contributing to smoother social interactions. Today, I am going to explain to you the 7 C's of communication, which play a vital role in ensuring successful business communication. Join me in this lecture and let's learn together the art of communicating effectively. First of all, we have clarity. When writing or speaking to someone, be clear about your goal or message. What is your purpose in communicating with this person? If you are not sure, then your audience won't be either. To be clear, try to minimize the number of ideas in each sentence. Make sure that it's easy for your reader to understand your meaning. People shouldn't have to read between the lines and make assumptions on their own to understand what you're trying to say. Let me elaborate this point with the help of an example. Consider the following message. Hi John, I wanted to write you a quick note about Daniel Kedar, who's working in your department. In recent weeks, he's helped the IT department through several pressing deadlines on his own time. We've got a tough upgrade project due to run over the next 3 months, and his knowledge and skills would prove invaluable. Could we please have his help with this work? I'd appreciate speaking with you about this. When is it best to call you to discuss this further? Best wishes, Adam. Viewers, you will notice that in this example that communication is clear. He has mentioned the full name because there might be more than one Daniel working in the office. Then what kind of assistance is required is also stated indubitably. So, John will have a clear picture after going through this message that what exactly is expected of him. Second up, we have conciseness. When you're concise in your communication, you stick to the point, you keep it brief. Audience doesn't want to read 6 sentences when you can easily communicate your message in 3. You need to ask yourself, are there any adjectives or filler words that you can delete? You can often eliminate words like, for instance, you see, definitely, kind of, literally, basically, or I mean. You can avoid any unnecessary sentences. You need to make sure that are the points being repeated several times because you need to eliminate repetition as well. Consider the following example. Hi Matt, I wanted to quickly discuss the email marketing campaign that we analyzed last Thursday. Our target market will want to know about the company's philanthropic efforts, especially our goals to become sustainable and help local schools. This will make a far greater impact and it will stay in their minds longer than a traditional sales pitch. What do you think? Jessica. You see, viewers, that there are no avoidable filler words, unnecessary details, or repetition of the same thing in this message, and hence it is a perfect example of a concise message in which you mention all the important details without adding any avoidable and unnecessary details. Third up, we have concreteness. When your message is concrete, your audience has a clear picture of what you're telling them. There are details, but not too many, and vivid facts, and there's laser-like focus. Your message is solid. Consider the following example. How much time do you spend every day packing your kids' lunches? No more. Just take a complete lunchbox visit from your refrigerator each day to give your kids a healthy lunch and have more time to play or eat with them. You see, viewers, the audience can picture spending quality time with their kids. And what parent could argue with that? And mentioning that the product is stored in the refrigerator explains how the product is also practical. The message has come alive through these details. And that is why I wanted to use this example to elaborate you the importance of concreteness in message. Number 4, we have correctness. When your communication is correct, your audience will be able to understand it, and correct communication is also error-free. Make sure your message is correct by asking yourself the following questions. Do the technical terms you use fit your audience's level of education or knowledge? Have you checked your writing for grammatical errors? Remember, spell checkers won't catch everything. Are all names and titles spelled correctly? Look at the following example. Hi Daniel, thanks so much for meeting me at lunch today. I enjoyed our conversation and I'm looking forward to moving ahead on our project. I'm sure that the 2-week deadline won't be an issue. Thanks again, and I'll speak to you soon. Best, Jack Miller. Viewers, if you read that example fast, then you might not have caught any errors, but on closer inspection you'll find two. Can you see them? The first error is that the writer accidentally typed conservation instead of conversation. This common error can happen when you're typing too fast. The other error is using week instead of week. Again, spell checkers won't catch word errors like this, which is why it's so important to proofread everything. Number 5, we have coherence. When your communication is coherent, it's logical. All points are connected and relevant to the main topic, and the tone and flow of the text is consistent. Example, hi Tracy, I wanted to write you a quick note about the report you finished last week. I gave it to Michelle to proof and she let me know that there are a few changes that you'll need to make. She'll email you her detailed comments later this afternoon. Thanks, Michelle. Notice that in this example, Michelle does not mention anything about a meeting. She only talks about the report and its mail. There is no description of any meeting for which the report is needed because the meeting reminder should be an entirely separate email. This way, Tracy can delete the report feedback email after she makes her changes, but save the email about the meeting as a reminder to attend. Each email has only one main topic. Number 6, completeness. In a complete message, the audience has everything they need to be informed and, if applicable, take action. The most important thing is, does your message include a call to action so that your audience clearly knows what you want them to do? Have you included all relevant information like contact names, dates, times, locations, and so on? Look at the example. Hi everyone, I just wanted to remind you about tomorrow's meeting on the new telecommuting policies. The meeting will be at 10 a.m. in the second level conference room. Please let me know if you can't attend. See you then, Chris. Viewers, you will see that all the relevant information regarding the event, which in this case is a meeting, is clearly stated in the message. And no one will have any ambiguity after going through this intimation as to what exactly is expected of them. Last but not the least is courtesy. Courteous communication is friendly, open, and honest. There are no hidden insults or passive-aggressive tones. You keep your reader's viewpoint in mind and you are empathetic to their needs. Look at the following example. Hi F, I wanted to write you a quick note to ask a favor. During our weekly meetings, your team does an excellent job of highlighting their progress, but this uses some of the time available for my team to highlight theirs. I'd really appreciate if you could give my team a little extra time each week to fully cover their progress reports. Thanks so much, and please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Best, Phil. Viewers, you will see that this email is courteous and friendly, and it has little chance of spreading bad feelings around the office. Make sure that your tone is considerate so that the receiver takes it in a positive way, even if you are complaining about something. That was all about today's lecture. Next time you sit in a business meeting or compose an email to your fellow employees, you need to take these points in consideration so that your communication is effective and it achieves its desired outcome. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you have provided me so far, and I look forward to your feedback. Do let me know in the comment section what you made about today's lecture, and also recommend which topic would you like me to explain in the upcoming videos. Stay safe, stay blessed. I will see you all in the next video. Until then, goodbye.